Instead of choosing the path of least resistance, I embarked on the path of utmost resistance to fortify myself for the journey that awaited me. And you know what? Only with relentless effort can you realize that you can outshine anybody. You know how badass they are? It starts with yourself, man. You gotta plunge headfirst into those things that intimidate you. Confidence isn't gained by seeking comfort. It's a fallacy, you know? In the moment your life challenges you, all you want to do is retreat to familiar grounds, which gives you confidence in your comfort zone. Is that a happy spot? No. What gave me confidence was spending years at a kitchen table trying to learn how to read and write all on my own, realizing that I can't learn the way you learn. I can't. But somehow, I can learn the other way around.
But I can't learn. What gives you confidence, not being afraid, is overcoming the fear.
That gives me confidence in facing and overcoming these things. And perhaps not conquering them every day, but confronting them and facing them pretty soon, like this. You know what, man? This is where it's at. Actual growth lies not within the confines of the comfort zone. It resides in the discomfort zone, where my confidence is forged. That's where it's getting built and takes shape.
Happiness, peace, enlightenment, it's all up here, man. It's all up here. It's all up here. You just gotta be willing to go and face it. That's the hard part.
And that, my friend, is the tricky part. The measure of strength lies not in physical prowess, but in the mettle of our minds.
That's how I live my life. I now know that there is no cap on the human mind. There's no cap. We cap it ourselves.
Most people quit. They give up when they've barely begun. I had just started. I had just ignited the flame. And when you embrace that mindset, you can learn to flip that around. That's what made me powerful. And my body followed suit. And so I said, I want to do this. I'm going to give myself a challenge every single day until the fear surrenders. And I believe that's what more of us ought to do. I sense that you too similarly live your life. That's all it is. That's what it boils down to, my friend. And it empowers me to feel so much more confident. When you overcome that fear that once held sway over you, the fear of saying this no longer controls me. It's like you can be more peaceful. You attain a profound sense of tranquility, my friend.
A lot of us speak in hollow words. I used to speak in hollow words. I don't do it anymore. Everything that comes out of my mouth has substance. It's real.
We all have these feelings in our bodies, minds, and souls.
A lot of us who are afraid of something, we allow our minds to choose the path of least resistance, so we go a different route. I'm afraid of something that's telling me you must do that.
Life is one big colossal mind game, and you're playing it with yourself.
And you cannot lose perspective of where you've come in life.
I'm determined to give people a different thought process of life, a revolutionized one, where failure, hell, disappointment, discomfort is a great learning tool. And many people don't understand that. They fail to grasp their significance.
But it's these few moments in life that you have, like for me, I always talk about it. Rocky won round 14.
In a mere 2 minutes and 13 seconds, Rocky epitomized resilience by rising every time Apollo knocked him down. During a challenging period in my own life, that singular clip illuminated my path.
In the world I was living in, maybe my story will give someone the 2 minutes and 13 seconds they need to change their life.
Everybody's got a story. Our struggles We don't share it on social media.
We share our nice life on social media. We all have a dungeon. I'm just willing to talk about mine.
Mental toughness isn't something you sample. It's something you live in every day. It must be woven into the fabric of our daily lives. Whenever hardness comes and you don't know what it is, it may be different for you than it is for me. But when faced with adversity, you go back to your insecurities. And when you retreat to your insecurities, you look for comfort within those insecurities. And you yearn for the cookie that your mom used to give you when you were sad, when you were sick. We look for our wife or husband. We look for comfort.
It's in those moments you must retrain your mind to think differently in health. The mental standard is you must know how far you've come.
I walk into the room now, and I am acutely aware of the countless hours, years, and decades.
I put into David Goggins. That's something, it's not on the wall. It's not a trophy on the wall. It's not a medal on your neck. I don't care how you perceive David Goggins, because through my journey, I figured out the one piece I was missing.
I thought it was cars. I thought it was women. I thought it was money. I believed it lay in the realm of external validation. The one piece I was missing was me having the courage to face myself and the bravery to confront my true self.
Where I got my work ethic from was the hours I had to spend learning this. When you sit down and you're not smart, and you have a disability, and you still want to be at the top of your class, I didn't want to just get by.
I never wanted to just get by. When I realized that I could learn through hard work and sheer dedication, I could outshine the valedictorian in school. I poured an extra 10 hours a day than he does, leaving no room for excuses. Do you know what kind of strength comes from that? When you're sitting down, that valedictorian is letting you for an hour, underestimating your abilities. And you know, I caught you. I have the work ethic to close the gap effortlessly. This is where the essence of David Goggins truly manifested. He was at the kitchen table with 20 spiral notebooks that were empty, and then they were full. I still have them in my storage room where you can go through that.
You go through these spiral notebooks of your life, and you realize, this is how I learn. This is unbelievable. It wasn't until I got real sick and my life got real quiet.
I went from running 2 hours into 5 miles, and 39 hours until I couldn't get out of bed. My life was taken from me. And that's when I realized I hadn't taken the time to think about what I'd done in my life. I had accomplished great things, yet I failed to recognize the finish line. I'd finished a race of life.
I finished a race of life. Now when you receive my medal, I go on. I get in the car and I go.
When I started figuring out my life, I was leaving so much in the tank. Once I realized, my God, man, I was this dumb, fat kid being bullied. And now I'm a 180-pound person who lost 106 pounds in less than 3 months. Learned to read, learned to do this, learned to do that. I was like, I need more. I devoured knowledge, thirsty for more. I was fueling my mind with everything. I never paused to say, my God, you came from this hell, and you're here.
I had come 8,000 miles from where I started. But if you never know that, you're still in a $7 a month race.
So it's that quiet place. It's that place by yourself. It's those moments of solitude, those hours, years, and decades by yourself in the grip of life. When life has you by the throat, choking you out, suffocating your dreams, instead of succumbing to the panic, surrender, or defeat, you're sitting there calm and composed because you're trying to figure it out. You're not panicking. You're not quitting. You're not throwing in the towel. You're saying there's a way around this.
And when you figure it out, when life has you gripped in a vice, and you can figure that out,
That's when you truly overcome. The journey of getting there was more demanding and challenging than the obstacles you faced along the way. So that's the whole thing about life, man. The essence of life is where real growth is discovered. It's that journey that makes you who you are.
That's when you overcome. That's when you overcome.